Hello, everyone, and welcome back to VoxelVixens. And today, Rachel forgot to do her homework.
Woo!
Well, she didn't forget to do it. She, in fact, did her normal homework instead.
You know how things go.
But she doesn't have anything to talk about today.
No, of course not.
So I've decided to fill the entire time with talking about Nintendo.
Yay!
Well, that is to say I was going to.
Yeah.
Until we thought about maybe talking about some music-related things, too, and video games.
We were listening to music.
We were listening to music. We were listening to a couple of game soundtracks and things like that. Specifically, we were listening to, like, Gerudo Valley from the
oh my god, that's awesome.
From the Smash Brothers 3DS and Wii U soundtrack.
We couldn't stop dancing, man. I'm still dancing right now.
Stop dancing!
But it's so fun.
Yeah, but stop.
Oh.
Gosh.
Yeah.
You dance all the time.
But Amber.
Rachel.
Amber.
No.
Amber.
You can't dance all the time like
Why
this.
Why can't I?
You have an addiction.
In society, everyone should be able to dance.
You have a
day.
dance addiction.
I know.
Yes.
No, I don't want to.
It's true, Rachel.
True. No.
It's true.
No.
It's true. But anyway, we decided that we were going to talk about some game music a little bit first. Specifically, Rachel wants to play more games with a sort of jazzy kind of soundtrack.
Oh yeah, I love jazz.
Yeah, so we started talking about that when we were listening to the Gerudo Valley stuff. I think one of the soundtracks that she brought up was Skullgirls.
Oh yeah, I love that. That music's amazing.
Yeah, the Skullgirls soundtrack is really good.
I could just like have it on and just listen to the music.
And then of course the Gerudo Valley song is awesome.
That's amazing to
the
dance
best
to.
thing ever.
Dancing, man.
Yeah, so video game music in general usually has, well, I mean not usually, but it has more recently gotten a lot better.
Oh yeah,
it?
a lot better.
Like, it's not the chiptune stuff anymore, that's for
No,
sure.
of course not. I
mean,
so simple. Nowadays, it's like you can put a lot of drama into it.
Yeah, I know, it's more orchestrated.
I mean, we're trying to look through music, and we're like, we can't use this because this sounds too poppy, this sounds too adventure-y, this sounds too serious.
When you're trying to look for different music for certain scenes or things like that, or whatever you're doing in general, you have to really find music that fits the attitude of it.
There's so much of a variety today.
There is a lot of a variety, but a lot of those video game soundtracks really end up bringing out the best in things.
Oh yeah, I don't know, you can just tell a story with music sometimes.
Yeah, you really can. One of my favorite things is, one of my favorite game songs right now is in Heart Gold and Soul Silver and Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
In Heart Gold specifically, the Ho-Oh battle theme is like, it's the most Asian-inspired, but also like totally war drum battle ever. It's like, oh my god, I'm actually fighting this legendary being that's going to totally destroy me if I don't do this.
So pumping and just...
Yeah, and then there's also things like...
It's ready for it.
Like the music in Fallout.
Oh yeah.
Which is just very subtle in the background. You don't hear it most of the times, but it really adds something. When you take out that music, you really feel empty.
Yeah.
Like,
but that's not always a bad thing. Sometimes, like, for Left 4 Dead, sometimes if, like, a horde's coming towards you, just music pops up.
Yeah.
But if you really listen to it, there's no music. And it's like, well, that's kind of creepy. And it gets you on that.
Yeah, it's the same with Fallout and Skyrim and those big, like, immersive roleplay experiences.
Yeah.
They have the songs that are really subtle, that you don't really notice as much, that are just sort of like a tinge of a tune every now and then, or a slight wisp of sound or something.
Yeah.
And those songs, they're just as good as the other ones, really.
Yeah.
They really... Somehow they bring something to things that makes you think you're alone, you're wandering, you're doing some great adventure, but you're still human, you're
like Skyrim's music, when you fight a dragon, it comes out and it's like, wow, I am ready for this. Because, you know, there's no music just always in the background, which is kind of good, because it's like, a hero doesn't always walk around with music coming with him, you know.
That amazing orchestrated soundtrack to or whatever.
And you're in the town and it's like, oh great, the hero's coming back. It's just music slowly coming towards them.
Yeah. You're just living in that world.
Oh yeah, you're always living there.
You just have to have your music in the background, your heroic soundtrack.
You're a hero, man.
Yeah.
You need that music.
You gotta make sure that everyone in town knows that you're the best. You're the number one.
So when you're going through their stuff, it makes sense.
Trying to rob someone in Skyrim or something, you sneak into their house, and in the background you just hear the
it's like they're lying in their bed. It's like, oh great, they're back. God damn it. Just like, let's just ignore them. Take whatever you want. Fine, we'll go poor.
Speaking of Skyrim's music specifically, did you ever listen to the lyrics that people made up for it?
No. Oh my god. Oh no.
He's a whore, fucking whore. Something
oh my god. Amazing. Now I need to look this up.
Yeah, it's pretty great. I think there was something about pizza in there too.
God damn.
It sounds like that though. You can never unhear it again after you've heard it.
It's like that Game of Thrones song that someone made. What was it? Game of Thrones.
No,
Game of
Peter Dinklage.
There you go. That's
Peter
Dinklage.
Peter Dinklage.
Someone else made something like that. And I'm like, what the hell is this? I think this is what I was still in high school. I don't remember. Man, I was just like, what the fuck's happening with everybody this year?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and that Train Simulator one.
Oh, God. I haven't heard that.
It's funny.
Oh god.
It's short, but it's funny.
You know, my favorite thing is the Thomas the Tank Engine mod for Skyrim. I think that also has Thomas the Tank Engine music with it.
Oh my god.
It's for the dragon music. It's just like
amazing.
Thomas the Tank Engine theme or something. It's pretty great. Yeah.
Yeah, just because you want to hear that when you're fighting the
What, don't you?
train.
Don't you? Really?
Of course.
Come on. You know you want to.
They put that in Fallout, right? That's in Fallout.
The Thomas the Tank Engine mod?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Is it the music's in there? Or it's just... I know they put a Thomas Train in there, but...
I don't know. I didn't play Fallout 3, and the modding community of Fallout 4 is still kind of small since the GECK, the creation kit, the Garden of Eden creation kit, hasn't come out yet. I know it's supposed to come out sometime this year, and apparently sometime very soon, or at least that's what one Let's Player that I've been watching is assuming, basically, because they are very heavily into the, Bethesda game modding community.
Oh, yeah.
So, as soon as the GECK comes out, they're basically gonna stop their Let's Plays and just do mod videos.
Just do all of this.
But that's how he started out, so...
Yeah. Well, I mean, the mods are amazing. Let's just get that clear.
Yeah.
Some people are like...
Even the Thomas the Tank Engine one.
Okay, you gotta be, great. I mean...
Yeah.
I could never put something like that in a game. I mean, you get those people that made that apple that's or a golden apple or something like that, and it was for that when Steam wanted to pay for
oh yeah
and people were like, it just adds one golden apple.
Yeah. No, actually along that line, that might have been done by the same guy that did Immersive Basket.
Yeah.
Immersive Basket was great because it was just it added one basket in a guard's post in Whiterun or something that. And that's all that it added. But it was just all of the reviews on that were this is the best mod I've ever seen. I never knew I needed this, but I needed this, or something.
See, I could never do something like modding because, it's complicated, but,
I could do Immersive Basket, probably.
I don't know anything about it, but I mean, some of those are just, amazing. The one I love is the Fog and Rain, or what was it? Rain and...
Oh, I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
But on this line of thought, maybe we should save talking about modding for next episode, next week, and get on to
Nintendo.
Nintendo. Yeah. Since we were talking about music, and clearly we're off topic.
We're always off topic.
We're always off topic, but I think we need to keep at least a little bit of track, right?
Yeah, we always get off track anyway.
So, Nintendo. I have a lot of things to talk about with Nintendo. Yeah, well, I mean, I want to talk about Nintendo in general recently.
Okay.
I want to talk about the new president of Nintendo, ever since Iwata died.
Yeah.
God bless his soul.
Oh, I know, right? Amazing, man.
And I also wanted to talk about things like the new lineup of games that they put out. They had a Nintendo Direct recently.
Right, I remember.
And some things that, some speculation for the future, because they have the NX.
Right.
But, you know, there's no information on that still. They're being so quiet. Okay, so first of all, the Nintendo Direct recently.
Mm-hmm.
So the Nintendo Direct recently had things like a new Paper Mario,
right,
which is getting some horrible reviews, just from people who are looking at the game and going, "Oh my God, it's another Paper Mario sticker star." I don't know if you ever played that. There's a giant sticker star sticker on my wall right now.
Right.
But Sticker Star, no one really liked it because it wasn't the same as the Thousand Year Door Paper Mario.
Mm-hmm.
It really took out things like party members.
Okay.
They took out party members and replaced them with stickers.
Oh.
And it changed a lot of the formula with how they were writing things and how the game progressed, and also the worst thing that it did, in my opinion, was that it took out creativity in between game characters.
Yeah, okay.
So all of the characters looked the same if they were of a certain species. So all the Toads looked the same, all the Goombas looked the same, etc., etc.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, so in Thousand Years Door, there was, like, a Goomba that had, like, a ponytail and some pink tennis shoes or something.
Right, okay.
But in Sticker Star,
everyone's the same.
Everyone is the same.
That's
There's
sad.
no individuality.
Aw.
Yeah. So, I mean...
Do you think they're going with that, like...
Well, the new Paper Mario that they are coming up with is called Color Splash.
Okay.
First thing that I noticed about it is the name is very similar to Sticker Star and not very similar to Thousand Year Door.
Yeah, okay.
Color Splash, Sticker Star, things like that, just themes to go off of little gimmicky ideas. This one relates a lot to, like, paint.
Yeah.
So you use your hammer to paint the landscape or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of, Epic Mickey.
I was gonna say that Mickey game, yeah.
Yeah, Epic Mickey and Okami.
Right, yeah.
Both of those. It reminds me of those. It's clearly not the same thing.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's a little too late to start in that color theme already. Because,
yeah, I think people have already done the color thing
Yeah, we've
to
already
death.
done it. It's not new to us, so...
But, it was an interesting idea for Paper Mario, because, you know, they are going with that paper sort of arts and crafts theme. Stickers, I thought, was a really interesting idea. Color, I think, is the next thing that they would go for, but it seems like the game is just gonna end up another Sticker Star.
I don't like that.
Yeah, the only thing that people have pointed out that looks pretty good is the main town that you first enter in. They showed one screen of it, I think, and it looked kind of like the first town that people entered in Thousand Year Door called Rogueport. So it's a kind of...
Is it the same, or is it just different? Or is it a little different?
It's different. No? It's different. It's definitely different. It has, like, a big fountain in the middle of it, and I think it has some slots or something inside of the fountain.
That's
I
strange.
might be remembering it wrong, but... and, like, a breeze runs through the town, and it's like, oh, the town has been sucked of all of its color, or something like that. It
just seems a little bit, Mickey style.
Yeah, it seems really epic Mickey. And I feel like there might be...
They're a little late on that now. I mean, come on.
You're years late, because Epic Mickey was the Wii.
Yeah, I remember. That was, I was in high school.
And there was another one. There was Epic Mickey 2.
Yeah.
So...
It's already done, you know.
Yeah.
Dried out.
It's already long done.
You know what I liked that they did was yarn.
Yeah.
With yarn, like Kirby and...
That's what I thought was going to be their next move with Paper Mario.
Because they still have... it's still good.
They've been doing Yoshi's Woolly World, and they did the Kirby's Epic Yarn and everything else.
And that's still popular.
I thought that for sure their next move was going to be Paper Mario with yarn or something.
Yeah, that would be kind of cool.
Yeah. But, no, apparently it's color. Apparently they're going back to the paint thing again.
No. It's already it's done.
Another game that was announced, well, not announced, talked about more, was, Metroid Federation Force, which isn't a true Metroid game, as far as everyone is seeing. It's, more of a spin-off title with Metroid's name, and it follows people in a sort of, in the Federation Force.
Right.
Who reference Samus, but Samus is never involved.
Weird.
Yeah.
They've been doing that lately with some games, just using their title just to get off on the series.
Yes, but going off on a tangent there, I think that people are being kind of harsh with their judgments of Nintendo recently. So, like, people are really upset about that.
Yeah.
But they're also really upset about, what was it? Oh, the new Kirby game that's coming out? I don't remember the title of that one. But that one looks like it's following a normal Kirby formula. It's not like Kirby's Epic Yarn or anything like that.
It's not trying something new.
It's not really, it's trying something a little bit new. Kirby can now, like, get armor from bosses or something like that and move around with it and upgrade it, and it's like Mecha Kirby.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So it's trying something a little bit new, but otherwise it's a regular Kirby formula.
Yeah. It's not bad.
And Federation Force is an entirely different thing from Metroid in the same Metroid universe. Now, the problem I see there is people are upset about both of them.
Really?
Yeah. People are upset about the Kirby one because it looks like the normal Kirby formula and not trying anything new.
God damn it.
People are upset about Federation Force because it doesn't look like Metroid and they're trying something new.
God, what do you want?
So, basically, Nintendo, at this point, is in this really weird area, I feel like.
I could just see, like, the people of Nintendo be like, what do you want? Oh my god.
Well, I feel like not Metroid. Nintendo fans are split right now.
I think they're just, I think people want it to be, like, true to the origins and all that, original, like, ideas, but you can't have that anymore, you know?
Can't have that always. See, that's the problem. People want things to be true to the originals, but
you can't.
Then they're upset at Nintendo for releasing their old games again. I mean, they're releasing the Super Nintendo games on the new 3DS too.
Yeah,
that was also announced, but they've already released them on the Wii U.
Yeah.
I think they've definitely already released them on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So people are upset about that. People are also upset about, Pokemon, the virtual console things there.
Well, I mean, it's
the re-releases, I can see people being upset, but if people want to go back to the original formula of things, they need to play the old games.
Yeah.
Because there has to be innovation sometimes. And maybe the innovation isn't what you wanted from it, but you can't always just look back and go, well, this was a better game, or something like that. Or you can't even give things like Federation Force a chance because it doesn't have Samus in it, and it's not a traditional Metroid game or something like that. You have to give things a chance, even if they're not part of the old franchise and how it looks.
See, here's the problem. You keep with the old formula, and it's just like, there's nothing new. You will never have anything new. And that's where you're going to go playing at, and it's just like, well, we tried, and it got backlash.
Yeah, and that's a big criticism of Nintendo, is they keep doing things that are the old formula.
And then people keep complaining.
People keep complaining about things being the old formula, then they try something new, and people complain about that.
It's like too new. Oh, wow, okay. But I mean, like, there is a way to meet in the middle, but sometimes, like, lately, people are like, that middle is like, no, that's too far, Nintendo. It's like, well, come on, they're trying.
Nintendo, I can't believe you would do that to my beloved franchise, except they're trying something new, they're trying something different. Maybe that game isn't the best one of all of the games for that series, but I think that series-based games have this really weird thing to them. Like, you have to have the exact same formula with a couple of updates, and that is your next game.
But that's not fun anymore.
It's not. They have to do new things, and Nintendo has always been an innovative company, even though they re-release all of these old games and stuff. They know their fans. They know that there's a lot of nostalgic fans out there. But at the same time, they've always been an innovative company. With the NES, that was basically the most powerful system of the time. I think it was the first game console that really took off and was the big hit around the world. Super Nintendo went upon that formula, added color and things like that to it, and better graphics. Well, not color, but you know what I mean. Better graphics. And GameCube was the most powerful system of its time, even though that one wasn't really as well received. It was really well received, but it wasn't as well received as the first
I mean,
two.
then you get PlayStation making more, like, you have 3 companies now.
Right.
It's Nintendo, PlayStation, and Microsoft.
Right, but even after you got to the point where the companies were all making consoles, and the consoles were all very similar, which was around the GameCube time, I think.
Yeah, CDs.
GameCube and, the Nintendo 64. Except Nintendo 64 went back a little bit because they used cartridges.
Right, and then that's where it kind of dies down because people want these like simple, small,
But the cartridges were good because they didn't have loading times like the discs did.
But I mean, with the disc, it's more. I mean, the PlayStation one, it's very polygons and. Yeah. But I mean, like the thing is, you kind of get that newer feel, and that's what people wanted.
Yeah, they didn't want the cartridges anymore. They wanted the new discs. But yeah, no, the Super Nintendo and the GameCube era of things was the last time that Nintendo did something like a traditional console, I'd say, like in quotations. And that was around the time that PlayStation and Xbox and things like that started taking off. I mean, Xbox not really at that point, but...
No, I remember the PlayStation was very popular.
Yeah, it was the PlayStation then.
And then when I think the 360 came out, and then the PlayStation 3 came out, and was that the time the Wii came out?
I think so. Yeah, actually, around that time is what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
see,
new time.
They went from being a company that was doing... I mean, it was still innovative things for the time. They were innovative game systems, but PlayStation and Microsoft showed up and started doing the same things. Well, Sony and Microsoft, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They started doing the same things, started making slightly better consoles, there was a competition, a competitive market happening. Nintendo went out and made something entirely new.
Yeah.
And they made the Wii.
Yeah.
And then they made the Wii U, which was marketed horribly.
It was.
So horribly. But at the same time... it was still an innovative thing.
Oh, yeah.
It still did something that no other console did, even if it was kind of bad for developers, and it was marketed really terribly, and a lot of people thought that the Wii U was more like an addition to your Wii.
Yeah. See, the thing about the Wii is, like, we have a Wii because...
Right. I have a Wii, too.
Yeah. The reason why I have one, or, my family has one, is because my parents saw it, and they're like, this looks... interesting, and
it looks interesting and new.
Yeah, it looks interesting and new. It looks like the kids will have fun with it. And the thing is, they can use it,
right?
Which is great, and that's probably what they really bought it for. I mean, that's
right.
That's what it was also marketed to older people.
Yeah, it was marketed to families.
Yeah,
and it was also marketed as something that was video games that you could do while exercising.
Yeah, yeah.
Which we have a Wii Fit.
Yeah.
Here,
I never had it, but I remember a lot of
the
people.
The Wii Fit is pretty fun. It's not bad. It checks your weight. It's usually inaccurate.
Yeah.
But
I mean, what else can you do? I mean,
yeah,
you had some technology.
And by inaccurate, I don't mean it made me so fat. I mean
it balanced in.
Its BMI indexes were off.
Yeah.
And usually, like at the time, I was still in color guard when we had that, right?
Yeah.
So I was. As far as the BMI thing said, I was at an average weight, right?
Right.
Then I would go check on the scale after doing that, and it would tell me a completely different weight than it told me in the Wii.
It's just fluctuating differently. Just never picked it up probably right.
Yeah. And that's probably partially because it calculated things. It would be like, okay, hold on, we're loading. All right, now you can step on.
Yeah.
All right, now please step off.
Just doesn't make sense.
And it might have captured weight at the wrong moment or something.
Yeah, maybe.
But yeah, no, the Wii was marketed as something that you could do as an exercise thing with family, etc., etc.
The Wii remote was just amazing to me. I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah.
It was wireless, and
it was
you
neat.
could move around with it. It was like weird, different. And then the PlayStation did something like that.
The
and then,
Kinect for the
Kinect
Xbox,
was the Xbox.
And
but
the PlayStation did...
They had those weird... They tried to do what the Wii did. Have like these weird controllers with motion sensor bulbs on them. It was weird.
I know what you're talking about, but I don't remember what it was called.
PlayStation. I don't remember. But, like, the thing about that...
The Kinect was the more popular
of
the two.
It got beat out, definitely, by the Kinect. Because that was different from even the Wii, you know. Which would have been kind of cool if the Kinect could do that.
The Kinect was interesting. It was more of an innovative version of Nintendo's thing. Which was fine.
Right.
But... Yeah, Nintendo did make innovative consoles, even if the Wii U wasn't marketed right, and it went terribly, and it had a really horrible launch, and people didn't end up liking the two-screen thing. Yeah, they tried. They tried working with it. They tried making it all work, but didn't really go great for them.
Yeah, I don't think... I saw it, but I was like, I don't know about this. It just seems so... I don't know. I don't see myself playing with my family. Like, you know, we wouldn't be playing, like, some of the games with it. It's just, I don't know. I can't see myself playing with, you know.
I did try, Rayman, whatever it was. Wii U release, there was a Rayman game. And I tried that with someone else, and that was actually really fun.
Really?
Yeah, but at the same time, it wasn't good enough for me to buy a Wii U.
Yeah, I mean,
so I still don't own a Wii U.
The only reason I probably would buy Wii U is Bayonetta 2? Because
Splatoon.
Yeah, that's another one. But, I mean, that's the only reason I would buy it, because, you know, and that's the problem. There's not that many games I would use it with, you know?
And that's also why I don't own a PS Vita. Because I like handheld systems. I like some of the games on the Vita. I wish I could play them, but... Not enough.
Yeah, see, you know, I'd rather...
I'm a
PlayStation person. You're a Nintendo person.
Yeah.
I would like a Vita, because I have a variety of games I would play.
Right.
But before that, I would probably buy the PlayStation 3 or 4. I mean, we don't have any of them, so it's one of those two. But that, you know, that's just compared to me. But Amber's letting me play her little Nintendo.
My new 3DS.
Yeah,
my
that's
small
interesting.
One.
And I actually might want to, like, save up money just to buy that.
That's the other thing. Nintendo's handheld consoles have always been good.
Yeah.
They have never had really any... Well, I say never. Okay, the DSi...
That was a little slow on the market.
DSi, not great. The new 3DS, also not great. Marketed just as badly as the Wii U because of the name. But the 3DS and the XL, the DS and the XL, the SP, the Game Boy Advance SP, and the Game Boy Advance.
Yeah.
The SP was great.
Oh, yeah.
The SP was the better of the two.
Oh, yeah.
Entirely. And I think that was their first flip system? Pretty sure it was.
Yeah. Yeah, because that was the only one that flipped. And then they made the DS.
And
you could play cartridges on that one. But then after that...
DS Lite did go well.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I own 3.
You own 3 of them.
Okay, 2.
Oh my god.
Used to own 3. One of them got stolen out of my backpack.
Don't leave your backpack around.
I didn't mean to. I realized, and I ran back within like 5 minutes, but it was already gone. Like, at least my DS was. My backpack was there. Along with the game that I had in my backpack.
Which was?
I think I was gonna sell it to GameStop. It was like some sky plane thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Remember GameStop, you guys?
I go to GameStop all the time, man.
You know, I don't go anymore because there's no PlayStation 2 games, and I only have a PlayStation 2 games, and I like getting older games. You know?
I like physical Nintendo games, so I go to GameStop all the time.
I do like having physical copies of stuff, but lately I've been playing more a lot on the computer.
Yeah, along that line of thought also.
Yeah.
I think the great divide between PlayStation players and things like Nintendo players is Nintendo people have a lot of first-party exclusives.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I mean, you look at Animal Crossing, you look at Pokemon, you look at all of the Mario games, you look at so many different things that you can only get on Nintendo systems, and then you look at PlayStation's lineup, and you can get the same things on Xbox, and you can get the same things on PC most of the time.
See, that's the problem. They always advertise for, what was it? One of the games that was only on Xbox, and it was Dead Rising 3.
Right.
And then I figured, you know what, it's going to come out on PlayStation.
Yeah,
and
just wait
computer,
for it.
And it did.
Yeah.
And the only problem with, like, Nintendo is, like, with Bayonetta 2, it never came out on anything else. And that, that's the thing. They are exclusive.
They're exclusives for Nintendo systems, and they make sure that they hold on tight to their exclusives, because that is a major selling point for their consoles. And actually, I think that's why I prefer Nintendo consoles, because I don't need a PlayStation or Xbox, because I'm a PC gamer.
Yeah.
I have my PC, it's already built and ready for me. I have all of the games that I need on it.
That's true.
Nintendo games I can't get on PC, so I'm gonna buy their consoles.
It's true. Yeah, no, it's true. But I mean, like, I do like having certain games as only, like, not handheld, but like actual console games,
right.
Like for Tomb Raider,
right.
I have it on my Steam. I haven't even played it because I feel like I'm betraying my consoles. I don't know why. It just doesn't seem like a computer game, I can't see myself playing a computer whilst I'm, running, jumping.
Right.
It's like, that feels like I want to kind of move a little bit whilst I'm, holding a controller.
Right.
I mean, I could play on controller, but it's just not the same.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, that's a divide between the PlayStation or console games and computer games.
Yeah, I'm completely used to playing my games with my keyboard and mouse.
Yeah, and then there's handheld games, and it's like, I can only see...
Handheld games are great.
I can only see Pokemon only on, forever and ever, only on a handheld.
Yeah, well, see, the thing
is,
like, people keep... With the Sun and Moon announcements, people keep thinking that Moon will come out on NX and Sun will come out on 3DS.
I don't think they would do that, no.
No, they're not gonna do that. Or maybe on the NX handheld or something. No, they're not gonna do that because Pokemon is called Pokemon, which means pocket monsters.
Yeah.
Which was always supposed to be an in-your-pocket capturing monster game.
Yeah.
A handheld capture monster game. And they're not just going to make it something that you can only play at home. I mean, maybe if the NX does end up being... We can kind of tangent off into what the NX is going to be. If the NX does end up being both a home console and handheld hybrid...
Kind of like the Wii U?
Kind of like the Wii U,
just
but...
remade, remastered, and whatever.
Well, what people are speculating is that the NX will be its own system for handheld and its own system for home console, and then they'll be able to connect to each other.
Okay. Kind of like, what did they do
Kind of like Smash Brothers for the 3DS and Wii U.
That's what they did.
Yeah. Because you can play Smash Brothers 3DS with people on Wii U.
That's right, yeah. And I think that's kind of another good selling point. That's pretty good.
I think that was their first real connectivity
that's good.
thing that they did. And I think it's good to point that out, and it's good to point out that the Wii U really was definitely a look into trying to have a handheld system and a home console combined.
Right. It's testing the waters. We haven't had this yet, and yes, it kind of did poorly, but it's the thing. It's something new that we have to experience,
right.
To experience something bad, we can always make it better.
Right.
So the next one might be really good.
Yeah. The other thing that people are speculating for the NX is that it's actually going to be Nintendo's step into virtual reality. And we just haven't heard about that yet. But I do want to point out that Nintendo tried that, and they made the Virtual Boy something.
That thing was huge.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. That was bad. And now we're getting, like, the Oculus and Morpheus, I believe, for PlayStation?
I think so.
Yeah, and those are doing well.
Nintendo has said that they're looking into virtual reality.
Right, and I wouldn't mind playing Pokemon in virtual reality.
I think if they did virtual reality, it would have to be a side thing and not the main console.
I don't think they would just push it out that fast.
Yeah.
It's too...
If they did do it, if they were thinking about doing it, it would have to be an extension, and it would probably end up being an extension for the NX so they can get on that market quickly.
See, the thing about Nintendo, where Microsoft and Sony, the difference between them, Microsoft and Sony are always, you can always tell they're competing with each other.
Yeah.
It really is. Well, Nintendo is always on the sideline saying, we see it, but
we're gonna do our own thing.
Yeah, and then usually, like, with the Wii, that came out and it was like, whoa, that's different, you know. That didn't come out, there was a big gap in between from what Sony and Microsoft were doing.
Yeah.
And Nintendo just came out with this, but it came out at a good time.
Oh, yeah.
See, and that's what I think they're going to do. Good. I mean, I think they know how to, like, bring something out at the best time, where the competitors always push something out.
Except for the Wii U.
Yeah.
And the new 3DS.
I think they pushed that out too fast.
Then again, I think for some reason the marketing just ended up failing the last few years for Nintendo in general.
Yeah.
I think under the new president, I don't remember his name right now. I think it's Tatsumi Kimishima. Under the new president, so far, we've been completely ensured that they're not doing anything with the Wii brand anymore, and it's over with, and that's it. But also, it seems like they could possibly do better marketing with this.
Probably could, yeah.
Especially since the guy, he is a very much business-oriented man. Mm-hmm. So, he's business-oriented and has worked in both Japan and America. Okay. He was working in banks in Japan before. And in America, he was, I'm pretty sure, the president of Nintendo of America for a little while. Okay. Until that got taken over and eventually Reggie came into play. Mm-hmm. But, the guy has been in both of the really, really big places that Nintendo sells, because I'm pretty sure that America's the second biggest seller.
I think so too.
I think it is. So he knows both Western markets and Japanese markets. He will know where and how to market things correctly.
Right. But do you think that's always a good thing?
Well, marketing-wise, yes.
Yes, but,
he's not a TV personality or anything like Iwata was.
Yeah, because, I mean...
He hasn't been in the Nintendo Directs. The Nintendo Directs have been, Morimoto, I think his name is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. But they've been him.
I mean, see, you want someone kind of like on both sides, because I always feel like, you can have someone great with business, but then you have someone that's very just out there. It's like down to earth and just like, wow, that's, he gets us, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's good for marketing the company to the public, but not as good for marketing things like products.
Yeah, like to children. I mean, Nintendo's very, not childlike, but like, kind of like give your child the first like handheld game.
Yeah, Nintendo is very much child-oriented game company. Yeah. But they've always also been family-oriented.
Right.
They've been trying to get families into gaming, and that's basically Nintendo's whole premise. Though, more recently, they've said that they want to get hardcore gamers back into their systems and back into their market. So they're not just going to be marketing things for families. They're going to be marketing things to hardcore gamers and hopefully fixing some things that people have had issues with for a long time.
Right, okay.
But that was a really long tangent, and there was still more of the Nintendo Direct to talk about.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. So they also showed Star Fox Zero.
Yeah. I saw a couple.
People are more happy with that than they were the first time they showed Star Fox Zero, and considering they've had multiple delays since then, looks a lot better. Still doesn't look amazing, and apparently they've changed things so that you can't use a controller. You have to use motion controls on the Wii U gamepad.
Really?
Yeah. So, not a lot of people are excited about that. Not sure if it's true or not, but...
I don't know. They want you to move. The thing is, Wii was always movement,
Yeah.
That's where the Kinect kind of, like, played really well with, because you can move with that.
Yeah.
So, I think they're just trying to get more like a
yeah, but it's just the gamepad. It's just like it's like what you do with games when you're like, oh, I need to jump slightly higher, and you like jump a little bit in your seat. That's what they want people to do with the Wii U gamepad, and it's really weird because it seems more like they're trying to turn it into a motion pad when it's more of like a handheld system that isn't really handheld.
But I mean, the movement always reminded me of like video games like that, like old style video games, but I would jump with it too. Yeah, I mean, it probably feels natural to someone older like us. Maybe that's what they're trying to advertise, I guess, or something like that.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It seems interesting. Also, they announced another Star Fox game along with that, which was Star Fox Guard. It's like a little mini game turret defense thing with Slippy.
I was gonna say, just the turret defense. I remember hearing about that.
Yeah, with Slippy.
Yeah.
Slippy
but
is like
I've been hearing a lot that people are like, oh, it's just adding the name brand on there, and it's not the same game, or not the same
Which is
game.
another going back to the Federation Force thing again.
Yeah, it's just
my
putting a name on it.
I think my problem with that one is more like that reminds me a lot of Animal Crossing Happy Home Designer.
That's not great.
That was not great. Yeah. They put a good game title on something that wasn't the same style of game. At least Federation Force goes into the same sort of action kind of thing.
It's still similar, but it's trying to be different, but still being similar with its the way you control, the way you play, which isn't bad, you know. But with like Happy Home Designer, oh my god, like I've been playing it on your thing, and I'm like, this is kind of boring after a while.
Yeah, that no one judges your work. It's just sort of like
it's thing. Like, thanks, great. It's like, okay. Thanks. I don't want to always be.
Thanks, that was a house.
I don't always want to be like praised every time. It's like
I don't want to be a god. I just want to build houses and see if you like them or not. And if you're not going to dislike them, then what's the point?
Yeah, it's like it's
especially since I wanted to build a trash house for someone that I hated and it didn't work.
Really?
They were just like, oh, it's beautiful!
Well, did you, like, get rid of all their, like, the items they wanted in the house, or no?
No, I put down what they wanted, because you have to do that to even confirm the house, which is dumb.
I didn't even try like that.
You have to do that to confirm the house the first time. The second time, when you're going back to edit it, you don't have to. It's just, you can delete all of the items that they even wanted. That's the saddest thing ever. Yeah.
I mean, they could, thing is, they could have said, oh, I want this type of house now, and you had to just remodel it. That's a remodel, you know, not you picking whatever they want.
But, I mean, I understand having things not entirely... I understand trying to market it towards kids and have it be easy and have them just be able to do whatever they want as home designers. But, I mean...
It's not always good.
That's not a game.
Yeah,
it's more like an app. It's like a design app. It's like... It should have been an addition to an Animal Crossing game, like a part-time job or something like that.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
You go out, you design someone's house, you get a little bit of money for it, you come back, and you go home again. Or maybe even just have it be like this is to help me design my house and what I want it to look like. I have all of the items unlocked, I'm gonna design a house and see if that works, and then I can keep like a room plan or something, and then I can do that later.
Doesn't work like that.
But no, it's its own game.
But I mean, it's not bad to stick a title onto a different type of game. It's not, but
bad.
It always turns out to be because we already know what the game is, and then you get something like that. It's like, wow, great. I mean, like imagine playing.
See, the Star Fox Guard is the same thing. I think for me, it should have been like a mini game. In Star Fox Zero.
That could have been nice.
It would have been really fun to play, and it would have added another level of gameplay for people, so they could have gone back and replayed it more. But they're making it its own thing, and selling it on the side, or in a bundle with the other game.
It's like... Oh, God. This kind of like the side kind of games remind me of, like, Ape Escape. Because when you were playing the first Ape Escape, you can go into, like, this little game area, and you play, like, kind of like a party game,
right?
You know, and obviously it's not the game. You know, it's not the game. It's just this fun thing, and that should be on the side,
right?
But I mean, if I got like an Ape Escape game that's a new game, and then it's like Happy Home Designer, it's like, well, what is this? This is definitely you're just putting the name on it.
Yeah,
you know.
But those mini games didn't exist before either, and technically as spin-offs, they are what you would consider to be a spin-off game.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, Happy Home Designer was $40.
Yeah.
Not worth it.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
It's worth like 10.
10?
Max.
I would probably pay 20. I mean, I understand.
Oh, okay. I'd pay 20 just for all of the extra animations they added, all of the extra furniture they added in.
Yeah, if everything was added in, 20
aspects. Yeah, 20 is as high as I would go.
15 to 20.
10 is what I would want to pay.
Yeah, it's not really a long-term game that you can replay. I mean, once you're done, I'm pretty sure once you're done with that game, you're just gonna be like, yep, that's done.
I'm gonna uninstall it from my DS and continue on.
Yeah, that's how it is. It's kind of sad, but...
Yeah. Other things that they announced. Bravely Second End Lair, which is a sequel to Bravely Default.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was excited about this game.
Yeah.
I was. Until I heard what they did in Localization. Because in Localization, they decided that no one can die, and everything always has to have a happy ending.
Oh.
Yeah.
Not everything.
Yeah. In the normal game, you can make decisions that end up in people dying, and you can get different endings, which could be bad or could be good.
Yeah. That's kind of
You only get one ending in the Localization.
Oh. See, the thing about, like...
Only one ending.
The thing about humans is we always strive for something that completes. Like, we feel completed with it, right?
Yeah.
So, like, games that are, like, multi-endings, and you...
Like Undertale.
If you get a bad ending, you're like, I need to redo this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I want to get something different.
Yeah.
Because that'll complete me. And you do, and then you get something, and it's great. But if you get, like, this one story that's like... Man, you could have done a lot.
You can't change anything.
Yeah, there's no change or something. It's like, how do you feel with that? I mean, it's not complete.
Yeah, I'm not getting the game anymore because I heard that there is only one ending and it's a good ending, and
You don't have any consequences.
I want to be able to make mistakes. Just like in Happy Home Designer. I want to be able to make my own mistakes.
And then I want to go back and redo it and see how I can fix that mistake.
I'm an adult. Not everything is happy sunshine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, I don't like those kind of games either. Yeah, some games are okay with having one ending, but the consequences, if it isn't like a not just story driven, but if it isn't like a consequence game, it just doesn't feel so...
It doesn't have any, like, actual plot
It doesn't feel like I'm in that game making that decision. And
it's just like a story.
Yeah.
It's like a visual novel.
Story.
You're reading a visual novel, and every once in a while you're picking some choices, and sometimes you lose enough health to quote unquote die, and then you walk back to wherever you were and continue on.
I feel like most, like, Long Live the Queen kind of had that.
Long Live the Queen had a lot harder consequences.
Oh yeah, and that's the good thing about those games. But like with Pokemon, it's kind of story driven straight.
Yeah.
Which is good.
But Pokemon is a kind of game that it's built on that.
Yeah.
Like, it's built on a linear story. You're going to finish the story how it was intended to be finished.
And that's not a bad thing.
It's not a bad thing because it's a pretty... I mean... It's usually, the gameplay is mostly directed at the battles.
Yeah.
And catching Pokemon.
And the story is just like
Story is
bonus.
more like a sideline thing.
Yeah.
Of course, they've been adding more recently, and I think we talked about that in the first episode of VoxelVixens.
Mm-hmm.
They've been adding a lot more plot elements to things more recently, but it's still a capture monster game at heart.
Right.
So you don't really need to worry about those sort of things. But when you're playing a game that is specifically like a strategy-based RPG game with a grand adventure to be had,
it shouldn't be linear.
The main thing is the plot.
Yeah. It shouldn't be super linear. I mean, it shouldn't be striving just for that one goal.
You can have a couple of branching paths. It's okay. People can fail and they'll be fine.
That's what we do. We fail and then we go back and we play a game again.
Yeah.
And again. And then one more time because you
And I know that the point of Happy Home Designer is design, and you could argue something like, well, if Pokemon is a capture monster game and that's its main thing, why can't Happy Home Designer be just a design game and that's its thing? It's not really a game. It's just an application.
Yeah, again, you're just putting that name on it because I like Animal Crossing a lot.
Yeah.
It's fun to go pay off your goddamn bills, but
I think
hate Cook, but
if anything, they didn't even have to add in the whole thing with trying to find out what animals really want and if they actually like your house. The only thing they really needed to do was add in a house for you.
Yeah.
And say, okay, you have to do work to gain money, to buy furniture for yourself, to decorate your own house. And there you go. That's it. That's the only gameplay element you need.
I did that with my the city folk. I always wanted the objects, right? So I would always look around, shake some trees, and usually I would be super happy if I got a sofa and I would decorate my house.
Right.
And I was like, man, this is fun. It's a part of the game.
It's a part of the game.
But that's it.
But if you wanted to go just with the design thing and you didn't want people to worry about the consequences of not being able to complete a house or not being able to do their design how they want to.
Fill up the town with pretty flowers or,
Yeah, if you wanted that, just add in something that the players can actually work towards other than just getting all of the items unlocked.
Yeah.
Because, really, what I ended up doing in Happy Home Designer was I walked up to an animal, I asked them if they wanted me to build them a home, I'd pick a random plot, I'd go into their house, unbox everything, walk back to them, and tell them I was done. And then they'd be like, wow, this is the most amazing house I've ever seen!
And you just gain all the other stuff.
And I just unlocked everything, and then after I unlocked most things, I didn't even unlock everything, I stopped playing.
Yeah.
Because that was the only thing that I could unlock. It was the only thing that I could really do. The other thing they had was unlocking different community buildings, and that's just more designing.
Yeah.
It was fun for a couple of minutes, but then what else is there? What else other than designing can I do?
I mean, I like the community buildings, and I like seeing what you made. Right. Because then it gives a story. Man, you did it was like a rainforest cafe, man. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, going and seeing other people's creations is great, and that's the only rating system they really have, because you can go online and view other people's creations. You can go through lists of them, and you can like them in different ways, and you can't dislike them, apparently. But yeah, they have a sort of rating system for those things, but only for online. And seeing other people's creations is fun for about 5 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that with the, what is it? You get the Neo board or that when you launch the application for the badge, and then they have those
the badge arcade
stuff, and the bulletin board is I've never even looked into it.
The Miiverse bulletin board thing?
Yeah.
With all of people's different creations on it?
Yeah, that's it's interesting, but then that's it.
Yeah.
And then I wish they kind of did something more with that.
Yeah. So,
I mean, did they ever, is it anything interesting or anything more than just
the Miiverse thing?
Yeah.
They will take people's posts from Miiverse. It's more of a Miiverse has always been a social network thing. You can post screenshots if you want to, and
you can do that
talk
on the
about
internet.
it if you want to.
That's it.
Yeah, but Miiverse is its own little chat thing that Nintendo has. It's for every single Nintendo game. It's not just for Badge Arcade.
Oh, okay then. All right.
So they just go on Miiverse and they pick up posts that people are already making and put them in the gallery, and are like, "This is cool. Look at it."
Like Imager.
Kind of.
That's it.
It's just Nintendo picked things. Oh, we picked this, and it looks cool.
That's a great idea, but then, I mean, that's it.
Well, I mean, yeah, but Badge Arcade in general, that is an app.
Okay,
it's not a game.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I was just thinking,
unlike
something
Happy
like
Home Designer, which is a game, apparently.
Apparently.
And the other one that I don't even want to talk about is Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah, we don't even need to go there. But, right, the other things that were in the Nintendo Direct were, there was some, Fire Emblem Cross something else dance.
Yeah, actually that looks interesting for some stupid reason to
I know.
Me.
Idol RPG.
But see, that's the thing, it's not, mainly using
That's new, though.
Yeah.
I've never seen that done before.
That's not just using a title of a game. It's like it's kind of like Capcom versus Mortal Kombat? Yeah, Capcom versus Mortal Kombat. I mean, you're using the characters and all of that.
Sticking with the whole Nintendo theme, it's like the Mario and Sonic at the 2016 Olympics thing that they also announced.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
And you saw Tails, like, flamming around.
Yeah, it's the same sort of thing there, except it seems like it's an entirely different game that I've never really seen before, which is like an idle RPG thing. It kind of reminds me of Persona.
I love Persona.
But not. It's different.
Oh, yeah, no. See, that's the thing with Persona Q. That's just putting another title on the...
Oh, yeah. That was another one. That's just all that game is. I have that game.
It's just a dungeon quest.
All the game is Etrian Odyssey. If you've ever seen Etrian Odyssey, it's all that it is. It's Etrian Odyssey with Persona's name on it and a lot of fan moments. Like, at one point, if you know the Persona 4 cast.
Yeah.
Okay, so Yosuke fell on top of the main character and they kissed.
Yay!
Or something like that. No, was it Yosuke and Kanji?
Yes.
It might have been. Either way, they fell on top of each other and it was implied that they kissed.
Oh.
It wasn't even, like, said. It was just implied.
See, the thing about Persona, where, it's a good game and it's aged well because it has a story with, you're not just dungeon questing all the time. You're not just going in and out, in and out.
Yeah.
You're like, struggling with social life and the monster life,
Right.
But with that game, it seemed like that just, flopped.
Right.
Where I think this, like, dance game is going to probably be...
Well, I mean, I think the dance game will go well. Also, Rhythm Heaven is coming out in the States finally, because they've had that for a while. That one, at least. They've had that one for a while, and lots of people are excited about that.
Yeah.
Also, Monster Hunter Cross, which has been changed to Monster Hunter Generations in name. But both of those are coming out, but they're just being translated, coming out. They've already been out for a while.
Yeah.
Same with Bravely Second, though. That's also been out for like a year now or something. I think that was all in terms of the Direct. There might be more that I'm missing, but if there is, I didn't care about it. Yeah. Most of the games that they announced, well, all of the games they announced are coming out in the spring and summer.
Okay.
And none of them were really things that were my thing. I'm waiting for the
big
fall and winter directs.
Yeah, I think that's what they're, going to, like, expose. The great big. It's going to be big, I hope.
I think that they're going to tell a lot about the NX at E3.
Yeah.
I think they should do a direct before then, just in my opinion, because then they have something that isn't a big games thing with everyone combined, and they can just steal the spotlight for themselves.
I could.
But I think that that's where they're going to reveal everything, and then their next direct after that, because I'm sure they're going to have one after that, will reveal more details about the NX, or release dates, or stuff like that, because I'm sure it's coming this holiday season.
Oh yeah, I mean, if it's not, it's like... then they're just going to have to wait longer, and they're going to have to make sure it's going to be good. Because, like, right now, if they probably put it out, and it will just overshadow the Wii U, and everybody will be happy.
Yeah.
But if they wait too long, it's going to be like, well,
they can't wait until next year.
Yeah.
They can't, and they can't keep this silence.
Yeah.
They're losing hype.
Yeah.
Because of the silence. Because no one is saying a damn thing about anything.
Yeah.
Especially, like, Pokemon Go and their mobile initiative in general.
Yeah.
Like, there's a game coming out this month for their mobile initiative called Miitomo. It's less of a game, more of an application. You can chat with your friends, you can make a Mii for yourself. It's kind of Tomodachi Life-ish.
Yeah.
It seems good. It seems like a good first application thing to get out there, other than things like Pokemon Go or Pokemon Shuffle or all of the Pokemon games that they've shoved out there, basically. But that's more Pokemon Company than Nintendo, anyway. But they haven't said a damn thing about it, and it's coming out this month.
Really?
They also haven't said a damn thing about the rewards program other than, oh, it exists, and also you'll be able to probably play games and earn points, and then use those points to earn games.
Do you think that's a good idea? Waiting for the last minute? I think
No.
I think giving out little hints.
Yeah, Pokemon does it right, I think.
Yeah.
Because Pokemon usually puts out a lot of little tiny hints in CoroCoro magazines after they release an announcement
they already
for
get
a game.
feedback. That's the good thing about it. They get feedback. Well, is that what the Wii U kind of did, where it's just like they immediately just pushed it out and then it's like, oh yeah, it does this, and it's like, yeah, we don't care, because
I don't remember.
I don't know if it just because I don't remember hearing a lot about it.
Yeah, neither do I.
And
all I know is I remember hearing it existed, and then that was it.
Yeah, I remember that. I didn't hear a lot about it before. I wasn't hyped about it before because I didn't know about it. So maybe it's not such a good idea to just throw something out there.
Yeah, it's not.
It's
gonna be their downfall if they keep this silence.
I want to
I want a little bait. I want
that little bait out there.
I want something to keep me going. I want the carrot in front of my face or something like
that. Yeah, and I want to
to
go get that carrot. Yeah. I mean, that feels good to me. I'm like, oh, maybe this will be interesting. Oh, I heard more about it. Ooh,
it's
like
with
great.
The Pokemon games, right?
Yeah.
Sun and Moon.
Yeah.
Ever since those,
and
ever since those have been talked about at first, they showed maybe 3 or 4 screenshots in the game.
And
there's so much speculation.
Yeah. And that's a good thing.
And not only is there
it
so
keeps
much
people talking.
Not only is there so much speculation, but people have pointed out similarities in design things and got really solid evidence for locations on things.
Right.
Okay, first thing that people were thinking was, oh, maybe it's in Hawaii or something because there's a palm tree there. But now they're pointing out that there's a Hawaiian designed fire truck is the one with the Blastoise in it.
Mm-hmm.
It's Hawaiian designed. It's just like Hawaiian fire trucks. And then they pointed out that the bird Pokemon that we only saw a little glimpse of looks a lot like a bird from Hawaii.
Mm-hmm.
And they pointed out that in X and Y, you can get something called the Strange Souvenir, which looks just like a tiki mask.
Oh.
So there's so much speculation that's just accumulating just from that tiny little screenshot, and that's all they need to give. All they need to give is a tiny little, it does this.
Yeah.
And that's all. They don't even need to say too much more than that. All they need to go is it looks like it has a strip on top that is touchscreen or something. And that's all they need, because then everyone is just the patents that came out for the NX.
Yeah.
That was good information for people when it came out, because everyone was like, oh man.
Does this.
No one even knows if it's for the NX.
Yeah.
Everyone was just speculating it was for the NX.
But see, that's a good thing, because it keeps people interested in this idea of oh, it could do this, it could do this.
But it can also backfire if they don't say anything.
Yeah, and
because
I think
expectations will get overboard, and then once they actually put out the system and it's not what people expect,
it's oh,
that's the end of the system.
You want people to already not see it. You want people to have a little ankle showing, because then it's ooh,
just a little tease.
Ooh, that's a tease.
Oh my.
And if it's bad, they're well, we can always show the good parts. That we can always work around that bad part that people don't like.
You can create good publicity from bad publicity. Honestly,
you need to
just show the good parts, and that's all that you need to get hype going. But show something. Talk about something. Say anything.
So, what did you say that might come out this
holiday season? Oh, this month, Miitomo?
Yeah.
Yeah, Miitomo is coming out this month. They have said specifically that it's coming out in March.
And was there anything
The
about
only
it,
information that we know about it, really, is that you can chat to friends on it, you can make a Mii on it, and it's on your phone.
Okay, well, that is not new.
And it hooks up to your Nintendo ID, and you can get the same points that you get for playing Nintendo games from playing Miitomo.
Okay, but that's not new, and that's not interesting too much. So, they need to learn from that. That's not interesting.
We need a trailer or something.
Yeah, we need something.
Why is anyone gonna use this application?
We need something that's ooh, that caught my eye on TV. That's
scandalous.
Yeah, that's new. I want to see that. That's what I want to see at the next the next
Nintendo Direct or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're not. They're just being silent, and I think it's
hurting them as a company.
It's ruining them.
Yeah.
It's getting to the point where people are talking about things that have not even been confirmed. Oh, no, actually, the biggest thing it's getting to the point where things are being leaked before they're even talking about them, and those things are coming out to be true.
Okay.
Because there was a whole leaked list of upcoming 3DS games.
Uh-huh.
An entire list of them. It talked about a codenamed Niji Pokemon 20th anniversary game coming out in fall and winter before both the Sun and Moon logos were leaked and before the Nintendo Direct about them.
Wow.
It talked about Disney Art Academy possibly being a game to come out. And that had never been speculated by anyone else. Right. And that was confirmed to be true. That is a game coming out. It talked about an all-ages, low-budget game coming out on 3DS for states or something like that, because this was the Nintendo of America list.
Mm-hmm.
So it talked about an all-ages game coming out, and people are thinking that was Rhythm Heaven.
Okay, yeah.
So there's all these things, and also they confirmed Federation Force, they confirmed everything, every single thing that was in the spring and summer updates for that list.
Wow. See, they should have done that a little before. Like, each one they should, okay, let's do this at this time before it even got leaked. If they did that, we would all been like, ooh, interested. But now it's just like, oh, it's got leaked, that's it.
Yeah,
boom,
yeah, it loses hype
it's
because
too
people
much.
already know. And same thing happened with the Paper Mario thing, too. People were talking about how they had a lot of information that pointed towards a new Paper Mario game coming out on the Wii U. And look, there is a new Paper Mario game coming out on the Wii U. Information is not coming from Nintendo.
Right.
It's coming from either people inside of Nintendo that are leaking things, maybe because they're frustrated because Nintendo isn't saying a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
Or it's coming from people who are just really good at digging.
Yeah.
Who have dug so deep in that they're getting real information out of Nintendo.
Because they want that information. That's the thing. If it is
yeah,
like that, they want
they're
that
like
information.
rabid dogs.
Yeah. But, like, that's the thing. If Nintendo would just...
If Nintendo said
things
anything, that's all that we want.
Yeah, I mean, like, anything on that list, they could have put that out before.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been surprised about that leak.
Yeah.
I mean, they could have said something, oh, we want something like this kind of type.
Oh, we're working on a new Pokemon game.
Yeah, and then
they didn't even have to say the name or anything.
Yeah, and then you get that leak thing. It's like, that's what they were talking about. Oh my god.
That's it. Oh man.
That would have been something. It would have changed the tides. It really would have.
Yeah.
And now again, like, yeah, no one likes their stuff leaked, but you need
I have to be honest though. I saw the Sun and Moon logos the day before the Direct, right?
Right.
So the Direct came along, and I was watching the Direct. I got up early at like 7 in the morning. It was only a 6-minute Direct or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it, and at the very end, they were like, Pokemon Sun and Moon, and I was like, oh, okay, it is real.
Yeah.
Instead of just being like, whoa, oh my god, Sun and Moon, that's so different, or something. I don't know. But I hadn't believed it the day before, and I wasn't hyped about it then, because it was just sort of like,
See,
Sun and Moon,
if
sure,
If they really did put stuff out before, people wouldn't have been super like, I need to get this information now. And even if they did want, like, there are people that need to get that information now, it's like, great, now we know about it, but then Nintendo could do a whole, 360 and be like, oh yeah, since you heard about that leak, you want to hear something else.
You want to hear something new that has been leaked.
Yeah, I mean, then they could
completely turn around publicity. They could be like...
They can work with that, but they have to make sure they give us a little bit first.
I think another company did something like that. I
remember something about that. Something happened, like a leak happened, and they're like, yeah, guess what? We don't care if that came out because we got something else for you. And it's like, bam, that's great. That is great. But you get something like Nintendo now. It's just like, oh.
If a leak happens, and it gets publicized and you know that it's a real leak, don't go quieting it and hushing people up and stuff like that. Well, do. Try and get rid of the person that leaked information from your company. Yeah. But don't just try and silence people about it and try and pretend it doesn't exist. Be like, confirm it. Just confirm it. Just say, yeah, that's happening.
But you haven't heard about this yet.
But we haven't told you anything about it, and just wait until we tell you more. Or something. Yeah, just wait until our next Nintendo Direct.
With it. I mean, like, that's the thing. You can just make everyone shocked. I mean, you can be like, oh, that's a leak. Great. We've heard about it. And then they're like, yeah, this could be something that we could work with this.
Yeah.
Because it's not such a big
marketing.
hit.
That's good marketing.
That is good marketing.
Nintendo doesn't have good marketing.
No, they need to figure out how to appeal to the people that are like, oh, that's a leak. Great, I'm loving it. Because nowadays, everyone knows about everything. You know, it's the internet, you know.
And the other thing is, the Nintendo NX.
Yeah.
It's gonna make or break the company, I think.
Oh, yeah, no.
I think that is really it. I think, like, as much as, I mean, it's not gonna make or break it, okay? They're always gonna have their games that people are definitely gonna want, and they're going to have people that are going to buy those games, but as a console company, it's going to make or break it. As a game company, it's not. As a console company, they might have an issue if the NX isn't good. Yeah. They're definitely going to have an issue if there's not another new handheld console coming out, because that is their biggest selling point.
Yeah.
They're definitely the owner of the handheld market.
Yeah. They're on the top. But to be honest, if this NX, you know, breaks it, they're just done with, like, consoles or anything else. And it's just straight to be handhelds. All year round. That's it.
I kind of realized something recently, and that was that the Nintendo exclusive, like, straight from Nintendo games that are coming out more recently, I haven't really been interested in. Splatoon? Fantastic. Good job. Animal Crossing New Leaf was good, but that was already, like, 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, that was really early on. We don't have anything new or great.
We don't have another. I love the Animal Crossing series as a whole.
Yeah.
There hasn't been any new games for it. Paper Mario Color Splash doesn't really look that great. Star Fox Zero doesn't look that great. Nothing looks fantastic. I'm not that interested. I'm interested more in things like things Level 5 are doing. Level 5 is the company that made Fantasy Life. Have you ever heard about that?
Fantasy Star.
Fantasy Life.
Was it Life?
Yeah.
Level 5? I know I have a couple games from them, but I thought it was Fantasy Star.
Fantasy Life was a RPG kind of game where you could be different job classes, up to 12 different classes, I think. You could be a miner, a woodcutter, you could be... Yeah, probably. Fantasy Life was really good.
They had Star Ocean, huh?
They also made Yokai Watch.
Yeah. Oh, did they?
Yeah. Level 5 made Yokai Watch. There's also, you know, the Story of Seasons games. Always interested in those.
Yeah, I think I have a couple of their games from PlayStation 2, and I like those games. I want games like that. That's actually, you know...
Pokemon Company games, always interesting to me, because I'm a Pokemon nerd. But most of the games that I get now aren't Nintendo games, or I don't really want the Nintendo games that they're offering, so not looking great for them, considering that I'm a total Nintendo nerd and I'm saying this. Yeah. I don't think there's too much else to say there.
Well, I'm hoping the best for Nintendo.
Yeah, I mean,
I really do.
I really am hoping, and I'm hoping for some innovation in consoles. I do really love their innovation with consoles in general, because
I like console games. I really do. And I don't want to I don't want to just get all my games on Steam. I love it, but I really do miss having that handheld game and, you know, a console.
Yeah, well, handheld consoles are always my favorite.
Yeah.
But otherwise I'm a PC gamer. If Nintendo doesn't do something innovative, I didn't buy the Wii U. I'm probably not going to buy the NX if it's not
something
new.
Interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the problem. And Sony and Microsoft will be on top.
Well, the other thing is Microsoft is looking into, it seems like, making a console PC hybrid.
Ooh.
Yeah. So,
kind of like what Steam does with that
with their
Steam Link, I think it is.
Yeah.
You connect to your home network or something like that.
Yeah, or kind of like the...
Even Steam is getting into consoles, which is weird.
Have you ever heard about, like, the Uvo or something like that?
I think I've heard of that.
It was a thing that you could play your phone application games on.
Didn't that just, like, fail?
It flopped. We have one, though. We own one.
That's right. I remember. They had that weird, like, controller. They, like, made a, like,
Yeah. It's a
weird.
cool controller. I mean, the system was really an interesting idea, but kind of like that, but with PC games, maybe?
Yeah. I could probably do something like that.
That'll take Microsoft away from PlayStation as far as competition. It'll give them something different.
Yeah.
So maybe I might look into consoles if Microsoft does that. I mean, I don't like Microsoft consoles in general.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but I play PlayStation games. I grew up on them.
But I might look into it if they're doing something that's a PC console hybrid. I mean, the Microsoft Store on Windows 10 isn't that bad. I've looked at it.
I think the PlayStation Network isn't too great, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it would be okay, but I think Xbox does their networking better. I think they do.
Well, they're used to it.
Yeah. But I mean, like, and then the Wii did that pretty well with the eShop and all that.
The Wii, well, the Nintendo Network needs a lot of work, but it's old. I mean,
it's
really,
gotten old,
it's the same. It's the same thing as they've had since the Wii, basically.
Yeah.
It's old. It needs improvements, and hopefully they're doing that with the NX and with the new Nintendo Network that they've created.
Yeah.
And with hooking our games up to one source. I'm really excited about that. They're hooking their games up to one ID, and then while you're playing the games, you gain points, and as you gain points, you gain, like, these coin things. And when you gain coins, you can buy games with them.
Isn't that what Microsoft does, though? With their...
That's definitely what Raptor does.
That's right.
Graphics card thing.
Takes forever to get all that stuff. But...
Yeah, AMD Radeon graphics card has this software that's called, like, Raptor or something like that, and it lets me gain points for playing games.
It's not bad. It's interesting. It makes you play those games. You know, which isn't bad, so.
Yeah, and, I mean, I'm gonna be playing Nintendo games anyway, probably, because Nintendo. So...
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I think that'll do it for this episode. We've definitely overtalked Nintendo.
Hey.
We talked about the Direct in multiple different chunks.
Yeah.
Because we kept going off on tangents, but...
it's the same point.
Yeah, it's all the same.
It leads up to the same thing.
It's all under the same Nintendo umbrella. Basically, the point is Nintendo isn't that interesting right now, and they really need to up their game.
They really need to, like, appeal to people that are always on the internet, always doing these things, because, you know, we can always get our information. Yeah, but at the same time, I'm still pretty hyped for Nintendo things. Yeah. I'm just wishing the best. I mean... I'm so hyped for E3. Really? Yeah, I'm so hyped for E3. There's so many different things that have been hinted on, or see, that's suggested, I want to see it, or stuff like that, that everyone thinks they're definitely going to talk about. If they don't, they have made a grave mistake. You can't hold it back. You have to give something, or else we're all going to be like, eh. Yeah. And that's it. If they don't talk about things at this E3, that's it. Yeah. So Nintendo, we hope the best. Yeah, that's going to kill the hype train. There you go. All right. So yeah, I think that's going to do it, guys. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Yeah, I think we'll see you next week. Yeah, we'll see you next week for another exciting episode of VoxelVixens. Yeah. Where we talk about really, really nerdy, weird shit and go off on tangents for like an hour. That's what we do. Yay! Woo! High five! Ow. Yeah. Your hands are hurt. All right. Bye-bye, guys. Bye.